Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you guys a comparison video of two new high-end products right here. So we have the new Lancôme Tint Idole Ultra Wear Care and Glow Foundation versus the Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. Now, I'm not saying that these are the same formula or anything. I'm not saying comparing them in that way. I'm comparing them in the sense of which one I would recommend for who. So let's just go ahead and jump right in because I'm excited to put these on the face and let you guys know my thoughts and for who what works best. Okay, so I already went ahead and did my skincare routine, and also I did prime. Today for primer I used my e.l.f. primer, the Power Grip primer right here. I love this primer. It works really well to kind of just keep everything in place and not look super dewy on my complexion. Now I really quickly do want to say that I do have oily skin. I have a very oily T-zone, and in the winter some areas tend to be a little bit more dry, like the cheeks, but right now because it's summer everything's staying pretty much on the oily side. So I will let you guys know my thoughts as an oily skin person, but I also have been reviewing foundations for a long time that I can help gear anybody who may have dry skin towards the direction of something that would suit them the best. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Lancôme Tint Idole Care and Glow Foundation. So this foundation does contain 27 SPF. This foundation is mainly focused on glow. It contains hyaluronic acid, which if you don't know, hyaluronic acid hydrates and visibly plumps the skin. So that would be great for anybody that's looking for something that's really going to hydrate their skin. But it also does have great pigmentation, which you guys can see right there. This shade for me is the shade 355N. I tend to fall more so for the neutral side. If you guys look at my skin tone, it tends to be kind of like olive neutral. I feel like for me, it's always suited me best this over something that's a little too warm. Now I will say, because I do have a little bit of a tan from the sun, I am a little warm right now, but just year round I tend to be more so on the neutral side. So we're just gonna blend this out. One of the things that I immediately noticed about this foundation is just how easily it blends into the skin, and it almost goes onto the skin like a serum-like foundation. Now, when I look at this description for this foundation, it says that it's a 24-hour transfer-resistant, healthy-looking glow serum foundation. Like I just mentioned, I feel like it's that glowy serum-like foundation, buildable coverage, and it just gives a smooth finish for a natural looking glow, which you guys can see. It's one of these foundations that I feel like works really well for like everyday makeup. Like you can make it look very natural, or if you want to wear this for an evening out, you can also take it to the next level and make it look more so like that full coverage consistency. So with this, I really like that aspect of it, is that it's really customizable to your preference, but it tends to fall more so for like that normal natural finish. I will say one more thing about this foundation. This does have a little bit of a scent, so I would say that if you are somebody that doesn't like scents, I would just tread lightly with this, or maybe even get a sample if possible, just to kind of see how it works on your skin. I would recommend though, if you do have oily skin or like normal to oily skin, I would set it with a powder just to kind of keep everything locked into place. You will get dewy through the day, but I think that even at the end of the day, when I did look a little dewy and then I went to retouch and set it, it still looked gorgeous. Like I didn't see the product separating or transferring as easily as some other foundations once like 6 hours goes by and you try to retouch it and it just kind of like makes everything separate. This one by Lancôme does not do that. So that for somebody that has oily skin is great. But I think for somebody that has dry and normal skin, I think you will also really love this if you're looking for that glow. Like that glow is gonna be there all day long, and it just goes on very well onto the skin. You guys can see the difference between having the product on and not having anything on. It covered my rosacea very beautifully. So I do appreciate that aspect from this right here. So love this. And that's pretty much it. Oh, I forgot to mention one more thing, the price. That's like the most important thing of it all, is how much is this item. So this one does retail for $47. Again, it's not the cheapest, but I will say that if you are looking for a long wearing foundation that will look beautiful and will look the same through the day, this one, I think it is worth the money for that. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. This foundation is a weightless liquid foundation that delivers buildable medium coverage with light diffusing effect for up to 16 hours. This is a vegan formula and it's cruelty free. I didn't see if the one by Lancôme was also cruelty-free. So this one doesn't say anything about being vegan or cruelty-free. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it in the highlights on the Sephora's app. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. If you guys know any more information, if it is cruelty-free, like the brand as a whole or not, just let me know down below. I love learning. So yeah, let's talk about the Hourglass one. So the Hourglass one, I purchased in the shade 10.5. This is like my perfect summer shade. And I will say another disclaimer, both of these foundations are like my perfect summer shade. So if you guys tend to fall for my winter shade, I would probably go a shade or two down from what I am, because this is gonna be a little darker than the shade that I am in the winter if you guys are like my foundation twins in the winter. And I did see, I think Hourglass also came out with a brush that goes along with this. I didn't get it. I'm sure that's also expensive. I didn't really look at the price right now, but we'll look at it in a second. So this one is a little bit more so of like a thicker consistency, not too thick, but it is a little bit more like creamier than the one by Lancôme. The one by Lancôme is a little bit more of like a liquidy consistency. So we're just gonna put that right there. This foundation, I will say I've been using it a lot because it's very, very pretty. So this is a medium coverage and it delivers a natural finish. Look how instantly that covers my rosacea. Now I will say both of these foundations apply absolutely beautifully with a brush or a sponge. There's something about this specific formula right here by Hourglass that just literally melts like butter. And as it's melting in the skin, it gives you like almost like that airbrush finish. I think it's because of those like light diffusing, what is it? Those light diffusing pigments that deliver a natural soft focus finish and also help protect from blue light. I will say, now that I'm looking at them side by side, I do think the Lancôme one kind of like oxidizes a little bit. Okay, so here are the foundations on both sides of the face. Really love how it's looking. So we have here the Lancôme foundation, and then we have here the Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. You guys can see that they both deliver like a healthy glow. I personally like this glow better. I like how this color looks better on my complexion than this color. Obviously this color fits me, but I feel like it does oxidize a pinch. Now, highlighted ingredients. Obviously this one, the hyaluronic acid, is a big factor in it, which I think is also why it looks a little bit more glowy than the Soft Glow by Hourglass. The main thing with the Soft Glow by Hourglass is really about blurring those imperfections and making the skin just look like it's glowing, but it's like almost like a filter-like glow. And that's something that I mentioned in my review and wear test that I did for this, which I will also have linked down below, is that when I tried it on, I felt like I literally looked like I had a filter on. Like it just looks stunning. So for this one, the highlighted ingredients are the light diffusing pigments that deliver a natural soft focus finish, like I mentioned. They also protect against the blue light and also the blurring spheres, which minimize the look of imperfections, fine lines, and wrinkles. So this is what we have here. This one also does contain less than 1% synthetic fragrance. So if you're looking for something that's not gonna give you fragrance, you definitely would wanna get this one over this one, especially if you do have sensitive skin. But I will say, like, right now that I'm looking at it, the Lancôme one would be more so for like every day for me. And then the Hourglass would be more so for like those like evening out or like event makeup when I want everything to look extremely flawless and filter-like. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and show you guys what they look like side by side once they have set. I do want to say one more thing. These both are a little sticky, so that's just something to know. I think that they're still setting on the skin, but I will come back and show you guys how they both look side by side once all the makeup is done, and show you guys the differences and similarities, and then we can begin the wear test and you guys can really see who this works best for at the end of the day and decide what works best for you. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I am back. I just finished my entire face of makeup. I was listening to the new Beyonce album, Renaissance, while I was getting ready. But let's talk about these two foundations. So this is what they both look like. They honestly look very similar once we have them on in place in terms of giving you that gorgeous glow, which they both claim to do. This is $47, this is $58, so about $11 difference right there. But what I love the most about these foundations is that they apply really well with all my products, my concealers, my blushes, my cream bronzer, like everything. So I have no complaints in that department. I did go ahead and set both sides of the face. I used my ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder, and honestly, they both do really well with the powder, which is a plus because sometimes certain foundations just don't look good with powder, but both of these look really nice. I will say another thing about the Lancôme one is that the scent is like lingering. It isn't until you apply the rest of the products and kind of like set it with powder that like the scent kind of goes away, but it does linger a little bit. So I would say if you don't like scents, you may not like this one. But I think that's pretty much all right now. It is 9:37 in the morning. We're gonna wear this for the entire day and see kind of how they both compare and contrast. And I'll come back at the end of the day to give you guys my final thoughts. But so far so good. They're both very beautiful, one set into place, and love the finish that it's giving me. Okay guys, so we are here in natural lighting. So this is the Hourglass side right here, which you guys can see. And then this is the Lancôme side. What are we thinking? Honestly, they both look similar, but color-wise, I think I would have to go with the Hourglass one. I really like how this color is looking on me. I feel like it matches me really well. And then this side doesn't look too bad, but I feel like the color is a little tiny bit oxidized, just a tiny bit. Let me know which one you think looks better. But I'm gonna go ahead and carry on with the rest of my day, and I'll see you guys at the end of the day for my final thoughts. Okay guys, so I am back right now. It is 6:02 p.m. as you guys can see, and I'm ready to give you guys my final thoughts comparing the two newest foundations at Sephora. So over here we have the Lancôme foundation, and then right here we have the Hourglass foundation. This is what we look like after a long day. So remember, the last time I saw you was like around 9:30, and now it is 6 p.m. So it's been a long day. And I think we can kind of see like who it would work best for. I feel like right now you guys are probably like, I kind of like that one better. I like this one better. So like I mentioned earlier, I feel like the Lancôme one is great for somebody looking for a glowy, gorgeous finish. I am very pleased with the fact that it doesn't look overly glowy, but you definitely see the glow way more than you see it on this side. I feel like here you get a little bit of radiance from within right here, like in the highlight point of the face, but not as much as on this side. You guys see, like, I just feel like this one looks a little bit more perfected. If you are looking for a little bit of like that, like soft glow finish from a foundation, which true to its name, it's called a soft glow foundation. And they also both don't feel as sticky as they did in the beginning of the day, which is definitely a good thing. And what I can say about both of these foundations, like seeing them side by side, is the fact that these foundations, even though it's been a long day, they still look really well in place on the skin. I have noticed sometimes with my more affordable foundations, at the end of the day, they start to separate a little bit more. And I feel like for these, you really do pay the price because you get that longevity. The fact that these like aren't separating and they still look nice and fresh as if it had been like maybe just a few hours after applying them is definitely a good sign after a long day. I do think that the Lancôme one is better for the person who's looking for a foundation that's going to be used for every day in those evening outs, a buildable, customizable formula that you can easily build from very, very natural to a more like fuller coverage finish if that's what you want. You also are somebody that likes the skincare benefits like hyaluronic acid, which hydrates the skin, and also does a beautiful job of giving you like that like serum-like consistency, which is very lightweight on the skin. And also obviously the SPF, I never suggest just relying on this SPF, but I know for some people they appreciate the SPF, so if you're looking for all those things, this is great. But if you're looking for a foundation that's going to be more so of like a very like flawless finish foundation and something that's going to give you like a glow from within, like a radiance from within, I would say this one. This one to me just really gives me like event makeup. I feel like as somebody that has oily skin, I kind of prefer this consistency. This I will have to retouch a little bit more than the Hourglass one. But they're both very beautiful foundations, and you guys can watch my in-depth reviews. I have to say, for me personally, I have been using this one the most. It just really depends on your preference, but I hope this video was able to help you kind of figure out what would be best for you if you are on the hunt for one of these foundations and kind of want to have like a better understanding of which one worked best for you. I will have my shades and all the information down below in my description box so you guys can check that out. So those are pretty much all my thoughts. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you guys did, please give it a big thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing these videos for you guys. I think that's all I have. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. Have a fabulous day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.